Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the SWW show. I'm AJ. Along with me is Julio. Okay, I'm going to try. Marambio?
Marambio.
Alright. I'm Midwestern American mixed with Scandinavian, so you give me weird consonants next to each other, probably pretty good. Anything else? Not at all. And your game is Cyber Ops.
Yes.
Tactical Hacking Support is the subtitle.
That's right.
I must say, it looks really cool. It looks just... Oh, what's the best way to describe it? It's very much It's a interesting take on a 80s top-down in the sense that it's not, in terms of you don't have quote-unquote full assets. It's a lot of arrows and circles on the map. Not saying anything's bad with that. It's just a very cool take on an older style that doesn't really exist in terms of that top-down, simple look. So I guess give me a elevator pitch. What is Cyber Ops?
Sure. Well, Cyber Ops is a tactical hacking game. It's a simulation game that puts you in the role of an operator who has to supervise and provide support to a group of agents carrying out missions somewhere else in the world. So you're providing them with real-time information so they can make the best decisions on how to approach a certain problem, like accessing an area under surveillance, or maybe rescuing some hostages and stuff. So you are scanning the area, you are hacking doors, you are hacking cameras, even hacking cyber brains in order to possess some cyber guys, and everything in a world that looks and feels pretty much like Ghost in the Shell, and a little bit of Metal Gear as well.
As you said Metal Gear, I was like, okay, do I do the Metal Gear sound? Because Metal Gear is one of my favorite series. It's also why I'm very hesitant on picking up Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm one of the people that I'm not necessarily into Metal Gear for the Hideo Kojima side of it. I just like the games. But yeah, everything that I've seen makes me. I'm already gonna wait for the PC release in middle of next year, but I'm very hesitant about that now, seeing some of the reviews come out.
Yeah, I think there's something special about Metal Gear, especially the first ones, especially the first one on PS1, in terms of how they approach the narrative and this kind of special charisma the characters had. There's I think there's something really strong about how they told the story, that I kind of missed that in the last few titles of the series. I think it was sacrificed for the sake of, I don't know, like giving you full agency of what you can do and how you what you can explore. I have a strong attachment to stories that are told in a proper way. I don't think there's anything wrong with a linear storyline when it's told with powerful characters and a strong storyline, and that is something that really grabbed me on when I first played Metal Gear Solid 1.
What, you're telling me you didn't like having to find the songs and podcasts for your iPod in Metal Gear Solid 4?
Oh, no.
Or, what were some of the weird things in Phantom Pain? Collecting the blood diamonds that were just scattered across the...
Yeah. I think that on Metal Gear Solid 5, I think technically and gameplay-wise, the game is absolutely gorgeous. From my point of view, I really enjoyed like playing with the different systems and everything. But I think it lost a lot of the, I missed that it take me by the hand through a strong narrative. It was chopped into so many tiny pieces that you kind of lost track of everything, and everything just felt isolated. And that is something that we wanted to bring back. CyberOps is not a game. It's not a sandbox or anything. It's a pretty much a linear story. But we didn't want to have this big ambition of making a huge world where you can do anything. We just wanted to tell a good story with some interesting mechanics and a new point of view. Like you're not the super agent, super skilled guy. You're just on the other side of the screen. You're providing support for them. You're like Autogun or Mailing. And that was the main inspiration for this game.
It's like I'm totally blanking on the name of it. There was a game, I think it came out early 2019, where you were in space and you had to like guide somebody around a space station.
Oh, Duskers.
All right.
Maybe
You know the name. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know
you're
the name
controlling
better than
some
me.
drones around some derelict ships.
Yeah.
I think that's one. I mean,
I don't even know what to search on Steam. But yeah, it's very much that.
yeah, Duskers was another big influence for CyberOps. Well, as you described it, it's a very let's say we wanted to take an economic approach in terms of building the assets for the game because we're a small team and this is our biggest project so far, and we knew that on one side it was going to be really hard and a lot of work to create all the assets and animations in order to show like agents running and hiding behind the walls and shooting and dying and everything. And at the same time, we have this let's say economic necessity. But on the other hand, we tried to we're trying to encourage the players' own imagination. Like we're giving you these basic elements, like positioning and map schematics and stuff. Like you are seeing everything through the through an interface, like this operator interface, and at the same time you have the real-time audio feedback. So our aesthetic objective was to give you these basic elements and to let your brain be the graphic engine for all this. Like it's we wanted to trust players' imagination, and I think if we had gone the other way, like I don't know, like Frozen Synapse, for example. It's a, let's say, somewhat similar game. I think it's very different in terms of how it plays, but in terms of perspective, it could be somehow related to CyberOps. But we didn't want to like actually showing the guys running around because for these two reasons. I think it would broke the immersion.
Yeah, it plus with the style that you guys do, it's probably in a way more realistic to what somebody would actually see.
Mm.
Because, I mean, I'm not a spec ops person in terms of like actually doing that, but I imagine that when you're looking into like the GUI they have is probably not like, oh, here's exactly what the person looks like. It's just a dot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's all about like radar screens, and when you see this air traffic control, I'm a big film freak. I love film, and there's some movies that have made a big impression on me, like especially early 80s or mid 80s movies like Escape from New York or I don't know, Robocop as well, and all these Alien and all these kind of warm analog screens and greens and kind of fading elements. um, with a black background. Uh, at least for me, it has been always a big element of mystery, because when you're not seeing everything in full detail, you always get the feeling that there's something else that you're not seeing. The darkness itself is mysterious. So, and I remember that feeling, like playing very old games on my ZX Spectrum. I had a really cool computer back then, but the games were graphically were very simple with this black backgrounds, and I always remember that feeling. That's something that I wanted to convey with this game as well.
All right, I may have found it. Let me mute this. Nope, not the game I'm thinking of. I'm still looking for that Moon game. But yeah, the 80s movie I definitely agree with, of the very much a neon vibe, or like, and I mean, you guys do it right where you use like the colors that would be used. I mean, green is very much a color that's used in low res, low output displays, along with red. You know, a lot of primary colors. So
yeah,
it's definitely look wise, it fits right in. And I noticed there's a section where you can outfit the different operators.
mm-hmm.
I guess is the best way to describe them. Your squad mates. Can you dive into that a little bit? Is it are they stat boosts in the way that I'm thinking of, where like night vision gives them extra viewing?
Yeah,
Distance?
there's some progression with these agents. First of all, there's three main characters, three main squad leaders who are actually leading the story, and everything happens around them. But you can create different squads. Like you can customize the squads and make different combinations of the new recruits. These new recruits arrive every time that you complete a mission, and yeah, every time that you send them out to a mission and they come back alive, they get some experience, and you also get some rewards like cyber implants in order to improve some of their stats, like improved vision, or moving more stealthy, like making less noise, or maybe having a better accuracy when actually going into a gunfight. So there's another element that we wanted to include in this game, that it's about actually bonding with these characters, because you can actually edit their names, and you can, for example, the idea was to create this bond with specific characters. Like, this is a random guy, this is a random girl who just came into my unit. I'm bringing her into my squad, and she's super cool, and she survived, and let's go for another mission, let's go for another one. She's growing, she's expanding her skills. But then you take a bad turn, you make a bad decision, and she could die. And I think that one of the design pillars of the game was also creating this bond with your characters. So the feeling of risk, the feeling of that you can lose them because of your not doing your best is something really strong.
That's an interesting take of making people care more than they may or may not already. Of okay, it's not just person 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the person's name is Nick or Anna, or take your pick your name, and you can also, if you wanted to name them after people you knew, being able to do that. Also, I found the game. It's called Observation. That's the one I was thinking of.
Oh, let me check that.
That's the one I was thinking about for.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know it.
I was going through the section and looking for a thumbnail of the video, along with, I forgot the name, but I thought it had a colon in it, and it doesn't. So that threw me off even more. And so I'm just like, okay, what is it? All of a sudden, I was looking at like Sekiro, and I'm like, okay, was it before or after Sekiro? I think it was after. So now I gotta go back and then go. So yeah, I found it. It's Observation. Yeah, if you get a chance to check that out.
There's some. I watched the first trailer, but then I'm watching some new stuff, like their computer interface, the retro style, almost like HAL 9000 kind of. Really, really cool.
Yeah, so that's the one I was thinking of. Not Duster. I know I've seen that. I have never played. I don't think I've ever played it. And yeah, Duster is much more of a, in terms of just 30-second look, closer to CyberOps than Observation, because Observation went for the realistic looking astronauts.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, because there were the emails that I got about leading up to this interview were probably the most unique. Of, hey, we're in Chile. Like, I think we've done a couple international interviews, but the one was from Romania. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes, oh, we're in Transylvania. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. It fits in with the game they were doing. But Chile, the only thing I know about Chile is that I've always thought of going for skiing in the summer for us.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's winter in the southern hemisphere when it's summer in the northern. And yeah, I've always been like, oh, bucket list, that might be a cool place to go. So what's it like? I can't imagine there's much of a development scene in Chile.
Yeah, I think of course it's not like a traditional place for game development, not like what you would think of the the main reference of game development around the world. But there is indeed, I would say, a growing industry in Chile. There's currently around 70 to 80 companies making games in Chile.
That's 80 more than I would have thought.
Yeah. Of all of them, I would say most of them are really small. Like really small teams, maybe 4 or 5 people. But there's some other bigger companies like with 40, 50, or 60 people. In a couple of years ago, we had two of the biggest studios in South America, based in Santiago. There was Behavior Santiago. This was a subsidiary of Behavior in Canada. And we had DNA, the Japanese company. They had an office in Santiago and they had an office in San Francisco.
Is DNA the one that brought the Nintendo games to the phones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I recognize the name.
Yeah, they were in Chile for quite some years, but a couple of years ago they took back their studio. They closed their studios. In case of DNA, they closed both Santiago and San Francisco, and they focused their operation on Asia. In case of Behavior, they also are focusing their operation on their headquarters office. So the thing is, when this happened, there was a lot of talent scattered around, and by then I was in there's an association. There's a Game Developers Association in Chile. I think that's a really important point to highlight, because it's the organization of this really small and growing industry, which has allowed us to get support from the government and to have a single voice instead of all. I mean, we all have different interests and focus on our companies, but this association has given us a way to channel all our main needs and requirements. And as I said, I was in the board of this association back then. And it was a really big hit for us when these big studios retreated from Chile.
Yeah, I have to imagine when something that big just decides to leave, it makes life a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and it was like 1 year after another, we had these two big hits in our industry. But the good thing is that since there was a lot of talent scattered around, some of these people changed industry and they went into, I don't know, software development or even the bank sector. But there was a lot of small studios with really with a solid background that were born in that area. We also, as a studio, we managed to get some of that people into our company, and that's how I think in the last couple of years we have seen a lot of really nice projects coming out.
I bet that actually makes the indie industry much more interesting when a studio with recognition like a DNA or somebody like that leaves behind the talent. Well, the people that worked there worked for a company that required a certain talent level, and now they're no longer there. So I imagine it lets some of these smaller studios have a leg up in terms of, they know how this person that used to work at DNA, for example, they know how a company like that runs, the quality that's expected, whereas somebody that is just doing this for the first time may not.
Yeah, I think it was a big contribution to all the rest of the companies, because it's just kind of like spread out, and it kind of like helped the other companies like level up. It was that is something good that we can um, say that was out of this bad situation. But at the same time, we also had like older references. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Ace Team. They're the ones who made Rock of Ages, Rock of Ages 1, 2. They're about to release Rock of Ages 3.
I only know Rock of Ages from the musical.
You should definitely check Rock of Ages. It's a cool game. But these guys are really experienced. They have been they started making mods for Doom back in the days, and they got a lot of recognition, like globally, when they released Xenogears. Sorry, Xenoclash, Xenogears, Xenoclash.
Okay.
These guys, they have a very distinctive style. They make unique games, and I would say that they are the main reference from video games made in Chile. You should definitely check them out.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into them. I mean, when your publisher is Sega,
yeah,
you're probably good.
Yeah. No, these guys are really, really good and really cool guys. The community here in Chile is really small, so we all know each other. There's a lot of cooperation going on. We can ask ourselves, like, from technical questions up to, I don't know, business related things, like the bigger, like the older and more experienced guys. They don't have any problem to share their experiences with the younger ones, so that they don't make the same mistakes. That's something like that's really healthy, and I think that's one of the good things that we have so far.
That makes it probably better for everyone when you have somebody that's experienced the highest of highs with this Ace team, and the people that worked at the other big studios, and be like, okay, now here's the path that I took, so I can help these people at least not make some grave mistake.
Yeah.
Also, the unique thing was, you said in one of your emails, we'll have to figure out, there's a lot of protests going on. Must say, never saw that in email before.
No, it's not something common. Chile's Chile's like a big experiment of like the case study for capitalism. We had our democracy broke in the 70s with this big coup by Pinochet, and we had like almost 2 decades of these dictatorships. And after that, we recovered our democracy, and everything's very civilized, and there's been a lot of economic growth since then. But this new model comes with a lot of problems, social problems. It's a lot of it's a system that's based on individuality and individual capitalization. So there was this, let's say, dormant. I don't know if that's a word. It was this underlying
dormant would work for that.
Unhappiness and discomfort that was building up, and now we have a very right-wing government, which made this a lot of the inequality that's in the country. There's a lot of richness, a lot of rich people, there's a lot of wealth, but there's also a lot of poverty. So the difference is so big that it just exploded a couple of weeks ago because of a race in the metro.
I was going to say, I remember seeing something about it was related to like, was it $1 increase in the Metro card price?
Yeah, that was like the drop that filled the glass. I don't know how to say it, but it was just
that's actually an interesting take on that idiom. It's the one I can think of is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, yeah.
The drop that filled the glass. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We say that in Spanish. It says la gota que rebalsó el vaso. That's but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of other issues going on, and it was like, okay, this is enough. And the students started evading, like jumping over the I don't know how to call it, by this ticket
the
checking
turnstile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And it started to become for the government a security issue. So they brought out the police with really aggressively, and that started an escalade of clashes and stuff until they declared a state of emergency, and even the army was brought to the streets, which was really painful for a lot of people who actually lived during the Pinochet dictatorship. So there was a lot of symbolic charge on these actions. Fortunately, the state of emergency is no longer active, so they retreated to their barracks and stuff. But there's still a lot to do. There's still a lot of changes going on in our society. I have a lot of hope that all of this is helping us to improve as a society and as individuals, because we are getting more together. People is being nicer in the streets with each other. They're acting more kindly. It's really interesting what's happening. So I'm excited about what's coming and what kind of changes we can make.
Yeah, I will say I think I saw at one point in time there were 5 or 6 protests around the world, and it seemed like it was getting everybody together.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
obviously from the Western media, the Hong Kong thing is very interesting. But I know, like in Lebanon, that country is basically falling apart.
Yeah.
Obviously, the things going on in Chile, there were 1 or 2 others that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's very interesting to see that.
Yeah, you're right. It was like a week when all this big social unrest was going on in different parts of the world. So there was a lot of empathy between all these countries, and I think it was a strong signal because at least in Chile, the feeling is that this there's. I think it's not realistic to think that we can change all the system, but at least make it more humane in like specific areas like health, education, arts and culture, um, and the retirement is really hard for old people. So anyway, there's it's really interesting, and it was it was kind of scary at some time, because we're right now talking about the game again. We're finishing the game, and it was I don't want to spoil anything, but there were some elements in the story of the game, because it's about a new country that was that got their independence from a bigger one. They want to protect themselves, so they create this special secret unit, this high-tech division. So there's a lot of political things going on, and some external influences, but also internal problems. And at the time this thing exploded here in Chile, we're just reading the script and making some adjustments, and it was this is so similar. It is scaringly similar to what we're seeing. I mean, not all of it, but it was really crazy. It was like we were in part anticipating some of the issues that we were seeing, with a different approach, but it was fun.
Yeah, sometimes they say art imitates life, but life can also imitate art.
Yeah, it was really really strong, and we don't want to be we really want to be responsible of what we're doing. We're not doing I don't have anything about, I mean, anything against other kinds of games, like I mean, I don't enjoy free to play mobile games or anything, this kind of heavily monetized games. I think that's part of the industry, and yeah, there's some parts of it that needs to be further regulated. But I mean, they have their audiences, and we're making something that is, of course, we want to have commercial success, so we're doing all we can to spread the word about the game. But we also want to make something. This game is quite personal as well. It's not something that is taken out of a mold of something that was very successful, and we're doing an iteration in a safe environment, using like a safe formula. This is a really crazy game. I mean, I don't know how we managed to get a publishing agreement for this, because at first it was like it sounds interesting, but at the same time it sounds like something very difficult to make, because it clashes with the idea that you have full control, and this paradigm that you need to be able to fully manage and control and everything in the game. Like most of the game right now, it's all about you can manage the cell growth in your characters in order to have I don't know, different skin color, whatever. This is not about it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that this game is really personal, and there's a lot of us in this game. There's a lot of messages that we want to convey. This relationship between the player as an operator and the agents. there's a lot of, let's say, we live in a hyper-connected world in which we can hypothetically reach anybody anytime, but at the same time, we're so disconnected. And in CyberOps, we also wanted to explore this feeling of, okay, we're online all the time. We have this brain linked together through this, I don't know, cyber communication. But at the same time, there's so much you can do, but there's also so much that you cannot do in order to help these guys. And as I mentioned before, this idea of creating this bond with the characters, we know that it might happen, but for some people, it might not happen. I mean, probably there's some people that's not going to feel this connection on, and they're probably going to treat the agents like tools or resources, like expendable resources. And that is also something that we wanted to explore. I mean, we want to see what happens. We want to see how people actually behave when they are in charge of someone else's life. So
yeah. That will be a very interesting case study. It says here planned release date late 2019. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, that's still the plan. I'd say that's late 2019, but still we haven't fixed a date. This month is all about polishing and finishing localization, some more QA. But the game content is almost ready. So yeah, I would say that probably December. That's our time window.
All right. I was gonna say I'm not going to try to hold you to a date, so you don't have to come up with a date. I'll tell you what. This has been a really fun interview, a very interesting one. I'm sure we could go on for hours about the situations in terms of the culture in Chile and everything that led up to where the country's at today, and what's going on there. But yeah, it's been fun.
Cool.
So the game's CyberOps, and it's on Steam. I'm looking at it right now. As you said, late 2019, probably December. That gives you 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. We are sleeping not so much.
Doing the all-nighters.
Yeah.
Trying to get work done.
Yeah. We try to avoid crunching anyway. We have a small team, and there's a lot of effort involved, but there's also a lot of close relationships. So we try to take care of each other.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, if it's 2 months, I mean, that's not the worst I've heard.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
All right. Do you guys have a Twitter or Facebook that we can point people to?
Yeah, we have all of them. You can follow CyberOps. Well, we have a main homepage. It's cyberopsgame.com. And from there, you will have access to our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram handles. Everywhere, it's CyberOps Game. So you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And most important of everything is that if you like the concept and the idea and want to check it out, that you add CyberOps to your wishlist on Steam. That would be really, really helpful.
All right. Well, we'll point people to all of that information. Julio, it's been great talking to you.
Thank you, AJ. Same for me.
All right. Bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special section of the SWW show. I'm here with Dave Bennett from Shell Games.
That's correct.
Cool. I saw that, and I'm like, okay, I have about a 90% chance of nailing this. It looks like Shell. But knowing it's from Pittsburgh, it could be something
something crazy
different.
Yeah.
It could be like Shell. Like, I could see that. Like, you drop the S and it turns into Shell. Like, I don't know.
Classic Pittsburgh.
Yep. Just weird pronunciations of everything. But yeah, so your guys' game is Until You Fall, a VR run-based hack and slash. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a sword fighting game first and foremost. So the idea is that it is in the structure of a roguelite, and you basically use your virtual swords to hit dudes and stand your ground for as long as you can until you fall in combat.
It's a very fitting title. I will say, we saw the game at GDEX, and we actually had a review code for it, and we just never got around to scheduling a time that works for everyone for an interview before GDEX. And I noticed everybody was getting stuck at the same place I did, which is that that first big boss encounter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I felt him right away too. Don't feel bad, guys.
Yeah, that first encounter with the boss is kind of like intentionally overly difficult because we kind of want to set up the stakes of like, okay, this is the monster that you're going to be hunting down throughout this main. We call it a dungeon, but it's a forest. So for this campaign is probably the better word. So for this campaign, you were hunting down this aether horror, and so we wanted to do the kind of classic Mega Man X, like, oh, we're going to have the bad guy kick your butt and establish the stakes.
Yeah. Although I never learned because I always took the rune for dash damage.
It's real good, man. Like dash damage is important.
I was telling the people at GDEX and the people playing the game, I'm like, dash damage every time they got up to one of the runes and they had dash damage there. I'm like, just take that. It'll make your life so much easier.
Look, there are many valid strategies. I am also a fan of dash damage, so I'm not saying you're right or anything, but you know, but right. ...
And I noticed there's a couple new weapons since I played it in late July, early August.
Yeah, no, God, it's already November, but I think a couple weeks ago, we had our 0.2 drop, which is kind of our big weapon update. And so that included a mace, the rapier. We also had some offhanded items. So like they're not weapons. They're kind of like trinkets that you can't block with, but they improve your other hand's weapon. So we wanted to actually be able to support players with that didn't want to have a two weapon fighting style. And so this allows you to kind of really focus on one weapon while keeping the other hand kind of just, you don't have to worry about that second hand.
That's an interesting way, because it was definitely originally kind of set up as like, okay, you're going to want a long sword and a dagger. That seemed to be the best combo. So you could block with the long sword and tickle them with a dagger.
Yeah, no, we found that the two-handed fighting style, like the two-weapon fighting style, is like once you get into it, it's pretty fluid and fun to do. But there's a little bit of kind of this hump for a good chunk of players that they just don't have the brain space to really deal with their left hand or their non-dominant hand. So the offhand armaments are kind of our release valve for players to like, all right, well, I'm not doing super great with this dagger in my offhand. Let's try this other weapon and really just make my dominant hand sing.
I could see somebody getting into this with a dual weapon and getting into the flow that Super Hot was. When you got into a flow of that, it was just like you knew exactly what to do. Of okay, grab this gun, shoot this guy, throw it at this guy, pick up a gun that's flying at you, shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to make the combat learnable. So like a lot of the attack patterns that the enemies are doing are like it's randomized to a degree, but there are tells that the enemies have. Like certain animation ticks and cues will tip you off to like, oh, this is gonna be the 3-hit combo, or oh, this is where he's gonna take a step back and try to charge me. So the idea is that yeah, even though you were getting your butt kicked in the early game, you're learning basically from your previous mistakes to like learn for the next attempt, like, oh, this is how I will deal with this guy. I know I will need to take this guy more seriously because I know he will get real angry and do a 5-hit combo.
Yeah, it's there's definitely feeling it, the basis there of this. Somebody's going to put a video up on YouTube once this game comes out of like the quote unquote perfect run of just a single flow and just cut it up properly so that it just looks like one continuous thing.
Yeah, no, we've on our Discord already, we've had a bunch of players basically showing off that's like, oh, look at me, I can do this without ever being hit with these weapons. And so it's like, it's pretty incredible.
Those people are way more talented than I am.
Hey, you and me both, buddy.
I feel like, in a way, VR is a very interesting way of getting people that are like, oh, like, you're maybe not the most talented with a controller or a keyboard and mouse, but if you have, like, traditional training in, like, fencing or sword fighting, this game you would just dominate.
Yeah, no, the number of playtesters and even just anecdotally, like other folks in the studio that have done some form of sword fighting, whether it's, LARPing or fencing or even like actual like one-on-one like fake combat, the number of people that have said like, oh man, I can actually take some of these skills and bring them forward into this, like, oh, this is a lot like fencing in this way, and so I'm going to wait for the parries and then riposte right here. And it's real satisfying to know that we're not only achieving that fantasy for players that have never done any sort of actual sword fighting, for players that have, there's like enough there that they can buy into it and kind of like take their own previous knowledge with them.
Yeah, I can see this game being like on Vanity Fair video in like a year and a half of U.S. Olympic fencers try VR.
I mean, I would love that because again, like the thing that kind of happened naturally with the game is that how physical it became. But like, it's you using both hands, you blocking the weapons, the dodging thrown into the mix with that. Like, you move around a lot, and you really break a sweat playing this game.
Yes, you do. All of a sudden, I was like, I've only played this game for like 15 minutes, and it's kicking my ass. Like, yeah.
And then, like, believe it or not, like, it wasn't always the intent that was the thing, but it was the kind of, but like, as we started playing, it's like, oh yeah, no, actually, this is work.
It's going to be the next, what was it? I think it was Beat Saber was the first one that I remember seeing of people like using it as a weight loss program.
Yeah, no, for sure. And there's been other streamers that kind of come from the Beat Saber space that have like calorie counters and like how many calories have they burned. And so like there are things that people have set up to track that sort of metrics. And so it's kind of like, oh man, should we be leaning in more into this? That'd be kind of interesting.
That would be, yeah. It's always interesting to see games that have the these interesting hooks for streamers, because there's obviously the games now that Twitch distributes where it's got audience interaction, and the first one I'll always remember is iDarb. You could tweet the hashtags and stuff would pop up in the background and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's really cool.
Like we're trying to figure out how to best, like, a big important part of this game is kind of almost the showmanship of it, because like again, you're kind of expressing yourself via swords or axes or maces or whatever weapons you have. Each, like, you are creating your own identity with the two weapons you take into combat, and so any way that we can support players to kind of like have their style showcased in a way that is really fun to watch, we're definitely trying to figure out how to best support that.
Yeah, because that's the future, right? Of the way things are promoted is somebody streams it and it becomes the biggest thing in the world because there suddenly becomes a following.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the kind of thing where And it's always hard to tell whether, like, do we focus on this first because only a small subset of people will be playing it, but it's kind of aspirational at the same time because we want people to see this game, watch it, be like, oh man, I want to try that.
Yeah, yeah. The balance seems to be the key factor.
Absolutely.
And I can only imagine what it's like trying to develop something. This, like, I've had a Vive now for 2 years, 2.5 years. I got mine fairly soon after it was launched, and the quality increase I've seen in the 2 years. It's astounding.
Sure.
I mean, like, Until You Fall is one of the best looking things on VR.
I will let my art director know because he'd be thrilled to hear that.
The only reason I hesitate is because I think the Spider-Man, it was an experience, to be fair. So they just used all the footage from
Sure.
From ILM. So I was like, okay, this looks really cool. But in terms of a game, this is probably the best looking game I've played, at least. And
yeah, I mean, the art style itself, we kind of stumbled on. We already had these characters. We were actually going for more straight fantasy look before. And it was kind of a question of like, all right, well, that's cool, I guess. We kind of have these hollow knights with these kind of glowy innards. That's neat. But it wasn't until we actually decided on the music to kind of like lean into a synthwave kind of driving soundtrack to get you into the combat and kind of like, bob into the rhythm involuntarily that it kind of like informed the rest of the art style. So it's like, oh, okay, let's really lean on the glowy. Let's really bring up the neon hellscape of everything else in this game. So it kind of like rose to match the intensity of the music. And then the visuals helped to further inform the music. And so it was this nice feedback loop.
And there's the idea of a beat in the game. So you just, okay, da, 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 da. So getting that with the music, just like you said, you get into a flow, and it's just, okay, you feel it. It's a very cliche thing to say, but you feel the music, and it adds to it. I mean, music can add and take away very easily, and it definitely adds to this.
Absolutely. Like the definite hope was, again, like you're exactly right. The flow. It was about like, okay, I am completely lost in the moment of this sword combat. I want everything else to fall away. I forget that I'm not in a headset. I am literally this awesome knight thing with two big weapons, and I need to destroy these monsters before they destroy me. And so it's kind of like, yeah, okay, just go. And like there's the rhythm of the combat, the rhythm of the music, like. More often than not, it falls into sync, but it's not like we're doing anything special with the combat matching to the music. It just kind of happens that way naturally.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that happens to me all the time in VR is I somehow literally get turned around. So I'll put my headset on facing the TV, which is the forward, and I set it for forward, and every time, without fail, I'm looking backwards. I'm standing, looking the opposite direction, and I'm like, okay. I have it set up for me to be pointing at the TV. How?
It's so immersive though. That's the thing is that like even for setups where it doesn't matter which direction you're facing, just the kind of disorientation of like, oh, I'm taking the headset off now, and I'm looking at a wall that I was not looking at before. That's where am I?
Or you're suddenly 2 feet closer to your TV. That's happened to me.
Yes, luckily I have not broken anything yet, but I've also in the many demoings we've done, there's been plenty of let's say interceptions of people about to do either hurt themselves or property.
You need to get some of the guys from the either University of Pitt or the former Steelers on your team to, when you guys do demos, to get ready to.
Yeah, just jump in. We do. It's a lot of to keep people safe in VR is a thing. Like we have plenty of people on Discord too. They're like, "Oh, guys, check out what I broke," and then it's like a picture of a ceiling fan and then their bloody hand. I'm like, "Oh, God, are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, it's great. It's bandaged up. I'm back in." And so it's pretty funny, but especially when we're on the road and stuff, we just need to be super careful of people that have never been in VR before, because sometimes the first instinct is to literally lunge or jump back at the thing that's fighting you.
Yeah, so. I definitely saw a few of those at GDEX of people straying a little, and luckily you guys had a taped out area so you could look at it before you obviously you kind of lose sight of that when you put the headset on, but like, okay, I'm centered, I have roughly this amount of space. If you're good with spatial awareness, you know you have 2 feet to your left, 2 feet to your right, 2 feet in front, 2 feet in back. So you can kind of adjust to that. But there were definitely people that, one of them I thought was going to yank everything out.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's always important to keep an eye out for that and just kind of gently remind folks to like, "Hey, could you step forward?" Or it's like, "Oh, hold on, I got to turn you around a little bit." And so I don't know, making people feel comfortable and be able to play, like, because again, it's the kind of thing where a lot of people's in first time VR, they'll just kind of stand there rigidly and not even move their arms. But then sometimes the opposite is true, where it's like, "Oh, it's all real. I can do jumping jacks and throw the controller." So it's a careful balance.
I'm surprised or maybe there was when it first came out, with the first Oculus would have been the first main headset. More of the Wii remote to TV incidences.
Yeah, honestly, like I mean, maybe those did happen, but I don't know. Maybe they just didn't report them as widely.
I've seen a lot more of the, "Oh, my ceiling's a lot lower than I thought," accompanied with a broken Vive wand and 2 broken fingers.
Yep.
I've seen a lot more of that than the TVs going out.
Yeah, I guess you have to assume that there's plenty of computer monitors that took the brunt of whatever controller or hand. I mean, working on the game, like if you can imagine 4 people kind of packed into a tight row and we're all swinging our arms around, trying not to hit each other. Our section of the office is highly hazardous, I'll say.
I imagine somebody walking through would think, okay, either it's some weird like experimental dance scene, or there's a gas in that room and I don't want to walk in.
Luckily, there's enough VR that we do in the studio that at this point it's less weird that the people are in headsets waving their arms around, but it's more like, "Oh, okay, there's the Until You Fall team. I guess I'll walk around."
You guys need the signs that you see on the trucks on the highway, the take wide turns.
Yeah, exactly.
Wide berths.
Caution, developers swinging arms. The developers at work, do not enter.
Get a danger sign. Danger of flying Oculus remotes.
Be warned about flying oculi.
Oh man, that would be. I have to imagine there's somebody that mocked up a sign for that and is sitting somewhere in a studio, probably somewhere in Europe. If we're being realistic, because they're a little more of the occupational. OSHA doesn't seem to really do anything anymore, so.
Sure, yeah. I mean, OSHA guidelines for virtual reality development are questionable / non-existent. But,
I was going to say, if existent at all. Oh, man. I'm sure we could chat all day with fun stories like that. But more to the point, this game is currently in early access. I'm going to say, unless there is like some serious stuff work going on, probably not coming out in 2019.
No.
If I had to bet.
No. So yeah, we're in early access for the rest of this year. We're looking into 2020 to have an official 1.0, but beyond that, there's nothing else to really talk about just yet. It's a lot of planning and timelines and scheduling.
I'll tell you what, you people are good at scheduling.
Yeah.
I will say this interview is the single most scheduled, like, and detailed interview we've had of, like,
Excellent.
Okay, you guys are going to be talking in this room and at this time, and we're using this and this. I'm like, this is amazing. Normally I'm just like emailing somebody going like, okay, do you have Discord? Yep, cool, all right. Discord friends. What time works? Cool, that works for me too. All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the kind of, like, there's so much going on over here, so like it's important for us to make sure that we're staying on top of it. So like, yeah, I'm glad that we're being able to stay on top of it.
Yeah, organized.
Yes,
because I'm sure if the people weren't there, if I didn't have like Google calendars, my entire day would be like, oh, wake up, meh, I don't have anything major to do today. Whereas now I look at my calendar and go like, okay, I have to do this, this, and this, get those done. All right, this morning was spend an hour and a half on the new Red Dead Online bounty.
they get the essentials done.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, absolutely.
This afternoon it's probably going to be Destiny and Forza and
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man, we're a Google Docs studio primarily, and Google Calendar, and like after I got some filters set up for my Gmail, like those are my best friends. Like I don't know, I don't know how to. Yep, I know what I need to do. I know where I need to be. My phone is paired with it, so I know what I have to get done, because otherwise I'd just be persistently late and behind on everything.
Yeah, my old phone, my Galaxy S8, I had set up everything, so whenever I got calendar, something added to my calendar, it added an alarm.
Oh, nice.
For that event. My OnePlus, I'm still trying to figure that out, but
yeah, no, I have the iPhone, so I've been pushing all the calendar events get pushed there, and so it's annoying enough.
Oh man! All right, well, I'll tell you what. Until You Fall is probably it's one of the best looking VR experiences you can have. It's extremely fun. It'll be one of those secret games of like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, but I have a VR headset. It's going to be one of those. And you guys are doing this is just fun.
Thanks, man. That's great to hear. We're luckily soon-ish. TM we'll be launching the third tier of our dungeon. So like the final encounters of the Shattered Woods campaign will be out for early access soon. So keep your eyes out for that. That'll include the final boss fight too, which is rough.
All right. Well, apparently I can't go full dash.
I mean, you can try.
You guys need a sign in the office. Never go full dash.
Look, we are trying to let everyone have their valid play styles, and dashing is one of those things. There's some really great builds you can make with dash damage.
And it makes life tough. That's your hard mode.
Yeah, no, right. It's only dash damage.
You don't need a difficulty slider. It's, oh, do you want to play hard? Yes. Okay, all the runes are dash damage.
I don't know, man. And so we are actually looking into difficulties now that you bring it up. We don't have a firm timeline on it yet, but it is something we want to be able to support, like in both directions of like players being able to play the game on a lower difficulty that are having trouble. But we also have plenty of our more hardcore fans. They're like, oh man, I'm bored. What do I do now? And like we can make this game harder, and so we're looking into when we can get that in and how soon we can do it.
Well, it sounds like you guys have a dedicated fan base. I can tell you just by looking through your Discord that there are some people that are extremely excited about this game and having a lot of fun. And I definitely look forward to the soon trademark sign, copyright reserve 20XX. Because if you put the XX, then you're clear.
Oh yeah, right.
For at least this century. shell games of the third level of the first campaign. So,
Yep.
Thank you, Dave. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
It's I'm extremely looking forward to this. Your game's out on Steam. Are you on any other stores? I guess it would be Oculus.
Yeah, so we're in early access on both Steam and the Oculus Store. We're currently supporting the Vive, the Rift, and the Index officially. Other headsets, your mileage may vary, but if you're playing on it, if you have feedback, if you have problems and anything at all, definitely just join our Discord. I think it's discord.gg/untilyouFall.
Let's see. Can I pull up? I don't know if they have the
URL. Yeah,
easy way to see the. Maybe you have to be an admin. I was gonna say if I go to the channel, if there's an easy way to see the change nickname, invite people, use copy button because apparently I have streamer mode enabled. Go to some place where I can paste something. Control V. Yeah, it's Until You Fall. One word.
Excellent. Yep. Perfect. Nailed it the first time. But yeah, no, if you please join our Discord, give us feedback. We're also running kind of informal weekly challenges for some cool swag, like stickers, posters, sometimes t-shirts.
Sometimes t-shirts.
Sometimes t-shirts. Depends on the challenge. But yeah, no, we are definitely keeping an ear out for feedback, and we want to hear what you guys think is cool and what is not working in the game. So
yeah, there will be feedback. There is feedback. I was
yes.
as I minimize the Discord app, I can see all the feedback, and there's definitely
yes,
good feedback and constructive feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. No, again, the reaction has been amazing. Like people that play it really like the game, and people just want to see it even get cooler. So,
all right. Well, thank you. Looking forward to this, as I say, and that will do it for this segment of the SWW show, where Dave talked about Until You Fall.
Thanks.
This podcast was a product of the SWW show. You can find more at the SWWshow.com or Facebook.com/the SWW store or Twitter.com/SWW. You can find out more about Mike at Mikey_Maroney on Twitter and more about AJ at LowC4 on Twitter. Remember, new episodes come out twice a month, one focusing on the new entertainment news and one focusing on movie club, so new and an old movie. You can find out more again at the SWWshow.com, and you can find the show on podcast services around the globe.